Well, g'day and welcome back to Zhaoqing. Today we find ourselves on the bridge heading over the river. We're going to go and take a look at an old church which was built a long time ago. Oh, we have a train coming over our shoulder here, so we'll just hold off for a second while the train goes past. Who are we? China Railway. Oh, that's a long one. Still heading through. And there's the end of that. So we're going to take a walk over the bridge, and just as we go, we'll just have a look at the bridge here and just see what type of thing we've got here. So we can see we're on a walkway here. Over the other side of the bridge here, we have another walkway over that side. We're walking on this side because that side's in the sun, this side's out in the shade. We have the railway line, as we just saw, running through the centre here. And then up above, we have the roadway up above. That is a dual carriage, I think 2 lanes either direction there. Might be 3, I can't remember. And then over to the left, we have a secondary bridge here. So the one we're on is a steel construction. This one, as you can see, is concrete. River down the bottom. There's actually 3 bridges run across the river in Zhaoqing, so we can see another one off in the distance here. This was under construction when I arrived. It opened about 5 years ago. It's a beautiful bridge, actually. That one's really nice. And then we go beyond that, another probably 5 kilometers beyond that bridge, there's another bridge over there. I mentioned yesterday in the previous video about how high the river is here. Just to give you an idea, you can see these concrete bollards down here protecting the bridge structure from the ships coming underneath. They are actually, they're about, I don't even know how high. But that one there, the water's about halfway up that bollard, and there's another one the same, sits underneath it, and you can normally see that bottom one quite clearly. In fact, the water's normally sitting maybe 1.5 meters, 2 meters below the level of the lower bollard. So the river's probably up, I'm guessing here, but probably 4 to 5 meters higher than normal at the moment. So yeah, it is sitting way up high. We can see a few of the boats coming down the river, up the river, both directions. So we're going to sign off here, take you for a walk over the bridge, and go have a look at this old church. So we find ourselves now at the entrance to Shangqingwan village. So we're going to go down here, have a look at this old church, and then we'll have a little walk up through the village and just show you around things here. So we're going to walk down this little pathway here, get right down pretty much to river level. The church itself is actually built right down on the riverbank. So yeah, it's a beautiful spot to come. I used to quite often come down here of an evening time and sit under the trees and just have the cool breeze coming in off the river. It was a beautiful spot at the end of a hot day. Another really good place down here to take photos at sunset, which I'll show you in a second. So here we can just see the church coming into view down here. It's a Yeah, gorgeous little spot. So just up here on the left, up the top of this hill, just come up these steps here, up to the top. You're sort of sitting just above the level of the old church, and you can take some really nice photos. Get the church steeple with the sun going down over the river, and yeah, in the middle of summer the sun goes down right through the center here, and you get the water reflecting the sunset, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. If I can figure out how to do it, now you should be looking at some pictures that I've posted, some photos I've taken in the past, so we'll see how we go. So over here we have a bit of signage just telling us all about the old church here, its history, when it was built, all that sort of stuff. Again, like a lot of the signs yesterday, everything was in Chinese. So what I'm going to do is I've taken photos of these. I'm going to go home, translate them, and then hopefully we'll be able to put some subtitles up for you. And hopefully right now you're reading some subtitles about this old building. Unfortunately, it's all locked up. We can't get inside to have a look what's inside there, but there are apparently plans to renovate this in the future, so we'll see. So if we look over the river, this is sort of the western end of Guangzhou. So we're in Goayao district now over this side of the river. Guangzhou is the side where I live. These buildings in front of us here are all brand new. They were still, a lot of them were still under construction when I first arrived here, but they've since all been finished. It's a beautiful area. We will go for a walk down there one day and have a look from there. The video we did yesterday from from the museum is just over sort of this area here. We're right behind where that boat is there now. So that's where we were yesterday. So we're pretty much directly over the river. We have toilets in here. We have a new little cafe. This was not here last time I was here. So it looks like they actually have seating up on the roof as well, so you can actually head up top. They've got lighting up there and stuff. I'm not sure if it's completed yet. This is all very, very new. So yeah, we'll have to come in here and have a drink one of these days and have a squiz. So if we look down the bottom here, so old fishing boats here. Most evenings you'll see one or two old guys heading out with their fishing gear, going to try and catch some fish in the old river. So here we see a sign. We've actually got some English here. So we've got church, old houses up to the left, old church. So we've got church, and then we've got old church. Okay, we'll have to see what we can see about that. The Chinese traditional ancient village, the first batch of tourism characteristic villages in Guangdong, the Chinese first ancient villages. So if we come down over here to the right here, we'll have a look at some of the fishing gear of the fishermen down here. So these steps down here, they lead down to their boats, and it's not advised to be going swimming down here. It gets very deep very quickly apparently, especially with the river sitting as high as it is at the moment. We can see fishing nets here drying in the sun, ready for this evening's catch. Some old buildings up the back in the bushes here. I haven't been around that side yet, so I'll have to head around there one day. So yeah, like I said, we used to come over here quite regularly back before COVID. You know, this was a favourite spot of mine to come sit in the evening underneath these trees with the breeze coming off the river. It's very beautiful, but yeah, when COVID hit, sort of slowed down a lot of that stuff, and just didn't get out very much. I sort of tried to keep myself safe. just in case. I mean, we were allowed to go pretty much everywhere. There was no real drama, but I was always worried that I'd be like over Goayao somewhere and there'd be a sudden lockdown and I'd be stuck for weeks somewhere where I really didn't want to be. So didn't happen, luckily enough. It was all very well handled here. So we're now going to take a little stroll up through the village here and see what we can see up the steps. So this sort of style of construction, building construction, actually let's take a little stroll through here, see what we've got in here. These old buildings, really cool little places to explore, lots of little hidden alleyways and stuff, hidden treasures everywhere. So these would have been houses at one point where people live. Wooden ladder heading up to the second floor here. We won't go up because I'm not sure how safe this ladder is. But a lot of these places are used for storage now. They store food for animals and stuff like that, firewood, gardening tools and the like. So yeah, you head into one of these old villages, they've all got these hidden little alleyways like that. And yeah, they can be really, really good to explore through. So these old buildings, all constructed of brick, generally they have tile, like clay tile roofs. If you head out into small villages around the place, they're all sort of constructed to this style in this area. It's certainly, well, I won't say certainly because I'm not sure, but I would imagine it's not necessarily a China-wide thing, but it's certainly true in a lot of the villages I've been to in this area and over in Guangxi province. Oh, she's warm out here today. Currently sitting on 36 degrees out here, and it's very humid. Whew. Yeah, makes you work walking up all these steps. So we're going to chuck a left here, head back down towards the entrance to the village where we came in and walked down that pathway. We're now going to walk across the top here and we're going to stop and take a breather in the shade here. Have a look at the river here. All right, let's carry on. I don't think I'm going to die just yet. So here's an example of the tile roofs here. Sort of, I think they're, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're some sort of clay that they use to build the roofs. A lot of the places now are being covered with these sort of fake brick overlays just to make them look more beautiful. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. I actually love the look of this exposed brickwork. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but maybe that's just me. So you see the scooters, motorbikes here, you see them everywhere, there's thousands of them. They are becoming less common now as cars are becoming more and more commonplace and more affordable as people's basic income is rising. You've probably heard about the poverty alleviation efforts that the Chinese government has done, bringing millions out of poverty. It's absolutely astounding what they've managed to achieve. It'd be nice if a few other countries did the same thing. Here we have the church from up high. So if you imagine just down at rooftop level, taking a photo this way as the sun goes right down the middle of the between the two banks of the river there, you get that steeple in the foreground. Absolutely beautiful. You can see how many boats are trawling up and down the river now. And oh, it's hot out here. So yeah, the cars are becoming a lot more popular here, a lot more commonplace. Like I said, when I first arrived, there were not as many cars as there are now. You know, I've noticed the difference in 6 years. And one thing you do notice now is the number of electric cars on the road that just didn't exist, you know, 5-6 years ago. So yeah, the electric cars are just becoming the thing to have here. Their cost per kilometre is unbelievably small compared to what you're paying for petrol. And the quality, like I said in the, I think it was the things that surprised me about China video I did. The quality, you know, we have this sort of stereotype, which, you know, from my childhood, you bought Chinese stuff, it was rather cheap and nasty stuff. It was made to be cheap, you know. And nowadays, they're the equal of anybody. So if we have a look down here, if we just check this car in front of us, what do we got? It's a Honda. You'll notice the number plate being blue, and it also starts with the letter H. H signifies that the car is licensed in Zhaoqing. So each city, from the biggest to the smallest, has a letter prefix, that all of their license plates will start with that letter. So Guangzhou, I imagine Guangzhou will be A, being the capital city. Maybe Shenzhen would be B, although Shenzhen, I'd have to check, because Shenzhen has grown a lot in the last 30-40 years. So we noticed that previous number plate was blue. This one here, being green, signifies this is an electric car. So this is a BYD, Build Your Dreams. And these are incredibly popular here in China. They're a great little car. They make some really nice models. So we're going to finish up here, and I hope you've enjoyed our little tour. Hopefully I've managed to get some photos in, and I've managed to get some subtitles to tell you a little bit more about the church than I can do on the fly. If you've liked the video, please hit that like, share, subscribe if you want to see more. We're trying to build a following, and yeah, thanks all for watching. Tomorrow, just a heads up, our school has graduation ceremony tomorrow evening, and so we're going to actually go out to the school tomorrow. We're going to do a couple of videos tomorrow, one showing you around the school a little bit, our new campus, and the other one will be showing some footage from the graduation ceremony tomorrow evening. So yeah, stick around, look out for that one. and we'll talk to you again in the future. Stay safe, everybody.